What's up, guys? Before we get into the video today, I just want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, and that is Thrive Fantasy. Come prop up on Thrive Fantasy this season. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports app for player props. All you have to do is choose 10 out of the 20 player prop options to build your lineup. Use promo code HIVE, that is HIVE, when you sign up today, and you will receive an instant $20 bonus on your first deposit of $20 or more. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or the Play Store, or by visiting their website, www.thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and prop up today. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Niners News here on 49ers Hive. My name is Zach Hernandez. I am joined by my co-host, Matt Llewellyn, and today we're going to be bringing you a Deebo Samuel injury update. Matt, what's the latest on this?
Well, they're supposed to have a summit Tuesday. We're recording this Monday, so tomorrow they're going to have a summit, and they're going to do a bone scan. They're meeting with the doctor who did the surgery and a doctor from the NFL, and they're going to take a look and see if he's ready to go. So depending on how that goes is going to inform the team moving forward on whether or not he's going to play week one or if they're going to hold him back a little bit longer.
Yeah, I read that too, with the Dr. Anderson, the guy who did the surgery. And from what John Lynch was saying, he's kind of sounding optimistic. The quote here, he does have a shot at playing week one. Tuesday morning, they'll have the meeting, and the trading staff will take the latest look at the scans and whatnot to see exactly where he's at. I can tell you that Deebo has done a fantastic job. I'm a huge believer that if you get injured and you're already in great shape, that you tend to heal quicker. We're hopeful, but I don't have an answer because we don't know yet. So John Lynch seems to be pretty optimistic about it, at least from the sound of that quote. But it is also a type of thing where it's like, do you want to rush your number one receiver back from that type of injury to play week one? And although it is a division game, it's not the most important game. So it is a chance that they could, even if he was ready, hold him back for another week. Or do you think I'm kind of overestimating this injury?
No, I don't think that at all. I think it's actually kind of weird that they're going the Tuesday before the game to get a scan done. You would have thought that they would have been more up to date on it beforehand. I think Tuesday is a little late. How much work has he done as far as staying? It's one thing to be like, oh, well, he's in good shape when he got injured, but then with the Jones fracture, there's a lot of time where you're not walking around, where you're not doing these cuts. And I know we've seen the video of him training on the soft mat. But at the same time, he's not out there in cleats again, making cut on grass, which is a forgiving surface. It's not like it's concrete, but it's also going to be much more taxing on that foot than it otherwise would be. Maybe he does play week one. I think that they're probably going to save him. For me, this is just my mind going. I would save him till week 4. You got the back-to-back games in New York against the Giants and the Jets, and you're going to be staying I think they're staying in Virginia or something like that. Maybe not ideal to have him back, but we'll see what happens. My guess is that he's probably going to play week one just because they're making it sound like he's going to. How much he's going to play, that's going to be another thing altogether. But with the foot injury, the worst thing that can happen is you rush it back too fast and then he gets injured again, and then he's out for even longer than before. So I guess that's why they're bringing all these people together. But to me, it's just kind of weird that it seems late in the game for that as far as his status for week one.
Yeah, it is kind of, really, really close to the game. I mean, we're talking, 4 or 5 days away from kickoff, and it's still up in the air. And it seems like it's a major appointment as far as his status, to where it's not like oh, everything's good, it's just a last minute check. It's like, no, we're finding out a couple of days from now if he's going to be good to go. So I don't know. It seems kind of rushed to me. And I know Deebo, even the day he got injured, when they were talking about the timeline of how long he'll be out, he was like, no. I'll be back week one. Don't listen to any of this nonsense. And everybody was kind of like, look, everybody's going to say that, he's a dog. He's going to want to be out there as soon as his team's out there. But I don't know. For me personally, I didn't really take, full stock of that. I'm like, yeah, sure, But it seems like he really is trying to get there, regardless on if that's the best decision or not for his own health. And I feel like you tend to see that with players that have that really, really strong, ambition and high levels to want to play this game with their teammates. they might rush themselves back a little quicker than they should have. And then, like you said, it ends up with a more serious injury that could have been prevented. So hopefully that's not the case with Deebo, because we'd obviously hate for this to turn into something more that could have been prevented. Now, Matt, if he is not able to go, how confident are you in the 49ers wide receiver group after him?
I mean, there's a bunch of question marks. I think he's the most established, and even he has some, thing. He got off to a relatively slow start last year, really poured it on in the last 8 games. So the 49ers have been bitten by this before, though, where you see a promising rookie transition to to their second year and not do well. And I'm talking about Dante Pettis. Now, obviously, Deebo has much more fire and grit than it seems Dante Pettis does, but they call it a sophomore slump for a reason. It's happened enough that it's something to consider. You have Brandon Ayuk as a rookie, and even though Shanahan says he's further along than any rookie he's seen, he's still a rookie. I mean, that's going to be also in relativistic terms, and as far as Kendrick Bourne's comfort with the offense is going to be far more than Brandon Ayuk's, no matter how fast Brandon Ayuk has progressed. Kendrick Bourne is still a question mark. I mean, he worked hard all off season, but we know that he has those concentration drops at the most inopportune times where it's like, 3rd and 11, and he has the first down and it's just off his hands, for whatever reason. But then again, he comes back and makes a clutch play. So, who knows what's going to happen there. Trent Taylor, how effective is he going to be missing 2 years essentially with the foot? Who's to know? Jerick McKinnon, the running back. I mean, as a third down back, he's going to have a big role in the receiving core because Shanahan's not afraid to put his running backs out on the edge and run them as wide receivers and have them run routes. So, there is a lot of question marks after Deebo Samuel, but I think taking care of Deebo's health is the most important thing. And that's why I said week 4, because when you look at the schedule, really, I mean, Arizona's going to be a tough matchup. Division games always are. But after that, the Giants and the Jets, I mean, those aren't exactly, Super Bowl contenders. So if you can hold him back, there's enough on this offense. His team should not lose to the Giants or the Jets, no matter if Deebo Samuel plays or not. So if you have the opportunity, to give him a little bit more rest to make sure that foot is fully healed, now week 4, you have that primetime game, and now you start getting into the heart of your season where you're going to need him. So, we'll see what happens. He's making it sound like he's playing week 1, but, there are other alternatives, and I think the 49ers would be okay without him for the first couple games.
Yeah, I would think, especially with how last season ended with the playoffs, they're more than comfortable leaning on their running game. I think they've made that clear. So it wouldn't really make too much sense to me to rush him back and risk further injuring it if they're able to just lean on Raheem Mostert and Jerick McKinnon and, Tevin Coleman, and then also have their tight end sets and, also Kendrick Bourne. Like you said, they have plenty of guys on offense to where it's not like if Deebo isn't back Sunday, the 49ers, they're for sure going to lose. I don't think that's the case at all. So I would be with you on saying that he should sit out. I don't know if I would say all the way to week 4, but it does make sense. I mean, looking at the schedule, like you said, do the 49ers need Deebo Samuel to beat the Jets and the Giants? No, not at all. I mean, they could probably play with Nick Mullins and beat those 2 teams. So yeah. I just think that as far as his well-being for the long term, he should hold himself back, and maybe the team, if Deebo doesn't, should hold him back. But unfortunately, like we've both said, we don't think that's going to be the case. I have a feeling if that doctor says on Tuesday morning he's good to go, the team's going to take that and write him off as he's good to go. He's in the starting lineup. Maybe they'll put him on a snap count. Who knows? But as far as it is right now, he's aiming to play. And I mean, I guess you got to respect the hustle, but hopefully he doesn't injure himself further. But yeah. I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Niners News here on 49ers Hive. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below. Do you think Deebo Samuel should play week 1 if he's cleared by the doctors? And also make sure you hit that like button.
Go ahead and click the bell for notifications every time a new video drops. And as always, go Niners.